Chillo there, H+III+T to boot that dang on time. Y'all, I'm not sure if you heard the dang on news today, but I just wanted to share with you guys. Did you know that today Iggy Azalea officially went like triple platinum? Did you know that? Did you know the new classic sold that well? I didn't know that either. Apparently, dang on, no, let me tell you, because here's the punchline. Here's the punchline of the dang on setup right there. It's a fact. That wasn't a joke. That's a legitimate fact. Because dang on RCAA or whoever they are decided that now streams count. So you know all those views that Fancy got? Yeah, those count as song purchases, and a certain amount of song purchases count as albums. So Iggy Azalea just went triple platinum, everybody. Did you know that? Point of this video is I just want to ask the question. Even before this whole foolishness with now streams count as album sales and song purchases, which doesn't make sense because you have to purchase something for it to count as a purchase, but that's neither here nor there. Do album sales even matter at the end of the day? Yes and no. Because, I mean, where's the first place you go? Somebody insults Wayne, you say, well, Carter 3 sold blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but even before this foolishness with, now streams counting, Iggy Azalea went platinum, didn't she? Does that make it good? You feel me? I don't know. And to be honest, this is too much of an issue to sit here and talk about this on this bench, I gotta go to my thinking box. Come on. When H+III+T has had enough, his severed heads, they help a bunch. I wear Adidas, not Crocs. I'm sitting in my thinking box. Thinking box is filmed in front of Saki the sock puppet. Yay! So you remember how I said thinking box was about to get really, really complicated? Yeah, it just got more complicated. The original point of this video a long time ago, because I've kind of written this out on a notepad and my thoughts or whatever on what I wanted to say for this edition of Thinking Box. Do album sales count? Well, now shout out to Linkplug for letting me know earlier today the whole situation of RCAA or whoever, they count streams as album sales. Now I think someone else did that too, Billboard. I'm not sure. I'm not going to get into that because I'm not going to pretend like I know. But it adds another factor into the conversation. Let me kind of start out with how I was originally going to do this before I heard this news. I was just going to use this comparison. Killswitch Engage on their last album, Disarm the Descent, they sold 49,000 in the first week, and it got number 7 on the Billboard 200 chart. That was pretty good, and everybody was like, wow, Killswitch, great job, that's amazing. Okay, fast forward a year, 50 Cent drops Animal Ambition, sells 48,000, and it was considered a flop. So, Killswitch Engage sold 1,000 more than 50 Cent, and it's considered a really high-charting album, but 50 Cent sells less with a higher position on the Billboard chart. I think it was maybe 4 or 3 maybe. And it was considered a flop for him. I don't know, you guys. A thinking box isn't really a situation of I'm going to sit here and give you an answer. It's a conversation. So leave your feedback down below. I'm not going to sit here and say, okay, no, album sales don't matter. Because don't they slick kind of matter? Think about all the conversations you've had at lunch with your friends or something like that, or like, all the classic debates at the water cooler. Who's the best? We'll just say because it's the popular flavor of the month. Who's the best rapper of all time or whatever? Where do you automatically go? Album sales. Who's selling? Who flopped? Who did blah, blah, blah. But if that matters, then you're telling me that right now, statistically, Drake is the best rapper alive. Statistically, right now, Drake is the best rapper alive. He's not. And whether you're a Drake fan or not, you know that's not the case. So it's like, but he sold a lot. So are you saying that, let's say, what's something everyone really likes? This is a bad example because everybody hates it all of a sudden, but let's say Meek Mill. Meek Mill, no, that's a bad example because everybody hates him right now. Meek Mill did numbers though, but he didn't flop. He didn't do Drake numbers, but he didn't flop. Let's use A$AP Rocky, for example. A lot of people like A$AP Rocky or Travis Scott or something like that. People who are selling in like the 100,000 or 200,000 range or whatever. Compared to a Drake, they're not selling as much, but you still put them in the same category. J. Cole sells around what Drake sells. Do you put him in the greatest of all time statistically? Let's come out of rap for a second. Slipknot sold 100,000 in the first week. Nicki Minaj sold like 200,000 her first week on her last album. People kind of looked at Nicki like, you're slipping a little bit. You're normally selling 300 to 400. But Slipknot sold 100,000 and got a #1 album. And everybody cheered them and they got nominated for a Grammy. Do you see what I'm talking about? Do album sales really even matter? I mean, heck, 2 Chainz got nominated for a Grammy once. You feel me? If anything, that takes away from the validity of Take Care winning a Grammy. You know what I mean? And I know it's Grammys and we're talking album sales, but it's just a question. Does it really matter in the grand scheme of things? Because even though something sold well, that doesn't exactly mean it's good. Because there's a lot of crap that... Fetty Wap sold like what? Like, how much did he sell? It was either 100,000 or 300,000 or something like that. I didn't really keep up with it, but he sold a pretty good amount. And I think it was at least top 5, right? But does that make that a classic album? The album that he dropped, does that make it a classic album because statistically it sold well? No. So do album sales matter? So let's add in the new information from earlier today. Now album sales are even in question because to me, at least from what I've come to understand, album sales are based on did somebody go out either digitally or physically and buy an album. That's why it's album sales. So we introduce streaming now. Okay, there's the obvious streaming, like say, what's the one that's green? Not ShamWow. I can't remember the name of it. There's Tidal. There's what's the other one? I can't remember the other one. The one you have to pay for. It's a monthly trial. I can't remember the name of it. The one that Tyga dropped his album on. Spotify! Gosh dang it, Spotify. Okay, so yeah, there's Spotify streams. Now you don't have to pay for things because there's Apple Music or whatever. If you have that, there's Tidal, Rhapsody, all that stuff. And it's like, so you had to factor that into it, but you didn't really buy it. You're buying the service that gets you the music for free. So you didn't really buy it, so it's not an album sale because you didn't buy it. And then and they're also counting, I think, YouTube views too, and just regular like music videos and stuff like that, or something that the artist officially puts out in a video form. So if I watch a video 100 times, or whatever the magic number is, it counts as me purchasing the song, but I didn't buy the song. So if I didn't buy it, that's not a sale, but it goes into the sales, which goes into that number. So like, let's say like I said earlier, I think Iggy Azalea jumped another million, so Iggy Azalea went double platinum. Does that make the new classic a classic? No, it doesn't. But Fancy got more views than a lot of different songs. You feel me? It just, if anything, that makes Gundam Style what? The highest grossing song ever? Because it's the highest viewed video ever. Does that mean he just passed Thriller by Michael Jackson? Do you see what I mean? There was already a question of do album sales really matter in the grand scheme of who's the best and opinion and blah blah blah. But now you add on this thing where you count streams. Does it matter? I say yes and no, because when we have a conversation, when we compare, let's say, Views from the Six to whenever Carter 5 drops or something like that, or Views from the Six to Pimp a Butterfly, or Slipknot versus Green Day, or Blink-182 versus My Chemical Romance or something like that. Oh, that's another example. My Chemical Romance is one of the biggest bands of all time, but they didn't sell in the 100,000s, but there's a lot more people who know who My Chemical Romance is than A$AP Rocky, but A$AP Rocky sold more. Does that make A$AP Rocky better than, I don't know. If you're looking at sales, then yeah, but is it really sales? See what I'm talking about? I don't know. I want to say yes, because I always like to flex and brag and say, oh, well, 50 Cent sold blah, 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 and Lil Wayne sold blah, blah, when you're defending someone, but then, again, it doesn't matter. But it does. Do you see what I mean? So, let me know down below. I don't know if I'm making any sense, if I'm rambling, I don't know, but just let me know what you think down below. Do album sales really matter? And include the information we just learned today. I don't know. I do know one thing. Every now and again, I gotta think outside the box. My Moses. I don't know what to tell y'all.